Hello everyone. So welcome back. Today I'm going to start my first class with the topic photosynthesis. I know you have heard about it many times. You have read about it many times. So once more, let's do it. And before I start the class, I would just like to advise you that do not think that biology is too hard and it's too lengthy and I cannot understand it properly, because when I have spoken to students, they have mostly stated that they do not like, some of the students they don't like biology because it's too lengthy and it's hard to remember or understand or memorize. But you don't need to do that. Just understand it like a story. And you can the best thing about biology is that you don't need to mug up. You can make your own answers. Just need to understand the subject, the topic, and then you can write it by in your own words. So let's move on. So today's topic is photosynthesis. Now, photo means light, synthesis means to prepare. So, photosynthesis is a process that plants use to prepare their own food. And and this process is very important not only for plants but for the entire environment, for all the living beings for all the living beings in the environment. Why? Because photosynthesis, the process that plants are using, is the basic process, basic process of life on earth. Because uh, have you thought about it? Like, suppose if there is no oxygen in the environment, how will you live? Can you live without oxygen? No, right? Because you need to credit the plants for that. Plants, what they do by using this process, they synthesize food for themselves, and also they release oxygen in the atmosphere, and that is how we take in oxygen, we breathe, and we live, right? Therefore, photosynthesis is very important for two reasons. For two reasons. The first reason is that they form the basic food of all forms of life, and number two is because they release oxygen in the atmosphere, which is essential for survival on earth. So why am I saying that this process is the basic of all food on earth? Because plants, when they synthesize food for themselves, then this plants are later consumed by other living organisms. So therefore, since plants can prepare their own food, they are known as autotrophs, and other organisms who consume the plants are known as heterotrophs. How do these plants prepare their food? How does this photosynthesis process occur? I will show it to you using a diagrammatic explanation, and I hope you will like it. Just like empty your mind and just understand it properly, so that you can understand it at once. Okay, so let's go on with it. So now I am going to show you how this process occurs with a diagrammatic explanation, and I will also provide you some basic notes out here, so by which you can remember the process easily. So plants, they contain leaves, that you know already, part parts of a plant. So leaves, they contain organelles known as chloroplast. So this organelle, this is responsible for photosynthesis to take place. How? Inside the chloroplast, there are some structures known as grana. These looks just like a stack of coins. So this is grana. The fluid present inside the chloroplast is known as stroma, and the thread-like structure that is connecting this grana are known as stroma lamellae. So in this stroma, basically the process occurs. Now, For photosynthesis to occur, there are four things that you need to remember. Number one, the first thing is carbon dioxide, CO2. Number two, water. Number three, sunlight. Number four, chlorophyll. So, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas that is found in the atmosphere. So, plants utilize this carbon dioxide. Water is obtained by the plant from the soil. Sunlight, as you know, sunlight from the sun. The light energy is used by this chlorophyll. It is trapped by the chlorophyll present in the leaves. And this chlorophyll is a pigment which is present in the leaf along with other pigments such as carotenoids, xanthophylls, chlorophyll B. So these are the pigments which are responsible for photosynthesis. The most one being important is chlorophyll. So how does this process occur? There is a chemical reaction occurring here. Now, since it is in presence of light, it is also known as light reaction. So out here what happens is the chlorophyll in the leaves, they trap the light energy from the sun, and carbon dioxide and water is used to prepare food in the form of sugar, and along with it oxygen and water is released. So we can also balance this out here. Now why have I written this? Here we can see 6 C carbon. C is carbon here. Carbon is having 6 atoms. So I have placed here 6. So it has balanced here both sides. And also for oxygen it's 6 to the 12. And also out here 12, 24. Similarly here you can see here is 2 and here is 6. So here it is not balanced. Okay. So now it's balanced. Okay. So now here we can see is that H is here 24. Even here H is 12 and out here 12, 24. Okay. So oxygen total out here is 24. Even here you can see it's 24. 12 plus 6, 18. 18 plus 6, 24. So now here both sides, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, all the three are balanced. So this is the reaction that is occurring. So now I hope you've understood this is sugar, or you can say glucose. This is the oxygen that is used by all living organisms to breathe. Now here hydrogen out here is the donor. So here this is oxidized to form oxygen. So this is the process of photosynthesis that's occurring. So I hope you have understood the process. Now I will go into details of this type of pigments and also the light reactions and dark reactions occurring in my next class. Thank you. Hello everyone. So I hope you have understood the process of photosynthesis. This is just a basic process, and after this we will move on to the other process like Calvin cycle, also known as the TCA cycle, which is also again a part of photosynthesis where dark reactions are occurring, and how ATP and NADPH is produced and the forms of energy due to this process. So but before going to that next class, So I want to tell you some fun facts about this process as I have promised you earlier. So do you know that an adult person, an adult human being consumes about 740 kgs of oxygen in a year? So, do you know how many trees produce that much oxygen? Well, approximately 8 trees produce that much of oxygen in a year. So, don't you think this is another reason why we should try to save our forests, try to like save the trees around us or plant more trees around us, so that we don't fall scarce of oxygen, and as you know, without oxygen we can't survive. All the available oxygen will be consumed, and then there'll be no more oxygen left and we can't survive. Therefore, help in the conservation of forest, and also maintain a sustainable lifestyle around you. And let's meet again in next class. Thank you so much.